There we go. It should be on. Great. Okay. You're on. Oh, there you go. You got it? Yep.
Okay. All right. I got a little bit of noise in the speakers, but we'll deal with it. Okay. Hi. If you don't know me, you haven't been coming to class. I'm Dexter. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run you a little bit through sampling really quickly. So we're gonna talk about drum machines for just a second. But any producers in the house? 2, 3. Okay, this is gonna be completely unimpressive.
Maybe 5 or something.
That's okay. For the rest of you, this will also be completely unimpressive. But I'm just gonna show you some things. So first, I'm gonna play a little bit of a track from Eric B. and Rakim. So what I want you to try to do is ignore the really obvious drums and try to listen for, there's some little snares in the background. Try to listen for those. So I'm gonna play this. So ignore this. Ignore that.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it on the gun to make sure it's broke. When I'm blowing up on this song, cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene. I step up, stand in the crowd.
I don't know if you can hear that or not, but we're gonna see where that came from. So that sample comes from, I have no idea what's making that noise. This track right here. So I'm gonna play this. Okay, that's enough of that. All right, so you kind of hear the snares. If you didn't, it's okay. All right, so we can do it one more time.
There you go.
Okay. All right. This is the beginning of the record, and as anybody who samples knows, one of the easiest and cheapest ways to get a good sample is just go for the beginning of the record. All right, beginning of the end. All right. Not the most creative way to do it, but hey, it works. But one of the more important reasons for this is because a lot of times that's where they give you the drums first, especially in a lot of old jazz records, a lot of old funk records. This one is from 1976. That's where they give you the beginning, right? They give you the drums, you can get a clean drum sample, and a lot of times that's what you're looking at. So what we can do is, if you kind of look at this right here, so right now what I'm doing, this is the wave form right here, so I'm going to let it follow this. So you can kind of see where those big pieces are. That right there is the snare. Kind of some of the smaller ones are bass drums. Little tiny ones is a hi-hat. Okay, so what I can do with that right now, you can do this with any old sampler, including the new stuff, and so this is a newer program called Ableton Live. Doesn't matter how it works, pretty much all these things after a certain point work the same. So what you can do, let me see if I actually set this up properly. Okay, I can actually chop every little bit, so for example, you see this right here, and this little section, all these little arrows right here, these are parts where it's splitting up the beat, where I've split up the beat, so. So what I have right here is, and I'll show you what it looks like in a kind of a bigger sense here. Let's see if I can pull that up. I don't know if it's, oh, there we go. All right, so it's Japanese, so I have to change it. But, so if you look at this right here, this little yellow area, so I got this whole big song here, like 3-4 minutes. And I've taken one little tiny piece, that's number 1. And then I got number 2, all that. So now I'm not going to sit there and click the mouse buttons because that's too hard. So I have this, which basically just maps all those things out on the buttons. So random buttons, right? Okay. So that's, I guess, if you just want drums. So at a certain point, people started saying, okay, well, what else can we do with this? What else can we do aside from just taking drums and getting these really bare tracks? So I'm going to play this. I don't know if anybody's going to recognize this one. Let's see here. one tap. Okay. So, anybody know what that is? All right. Yeah, thank you. All right, Scott-Heron. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that first little bit. So what I've done right here is I've looped the first little bit. So let's see what this sounds like. Okay, not the cleanest loop in the world, but it's enough for me, right? It's enough for me to get the sounds that I want. So let's grab that. So I've already split it up beforehand because this stuff takes a while, so I'm not going to make you guys watch that. So here I'm just pushing the buttons and going through and finding sounds. Okay, so I got a bass here. Got a clean snare, that's good. Okay, kind of a kick with a bass in it, that's nice. Okay, a little piece of noise on the way. All right. Bass, hat, snare, okay. So at this point, you can start pulling stuff out of it, just doing whatever you want. So like. That. And at that point you can start, you know, you can record it. So let's actually, how much time do I have?
Enough. Just do what you want.
How many bar loop is that? 8 bar loop, sounds great. And I could just make a song out of that right there. I could loop that, I could leave it alone and do nothing with it and it's fine. But let's see how I want to add a little bit more to it. So this is where a drum machine comes in handy. So we're gonna see a little bit more of that later, but I've got samples that are pretty much just stolen from a drum machine. So let's see what I got here. Got a kick, got a hat, clap that I put some echo on, it's a little loud, sorry. Oh, damn. Okay, all right. So let's just play this. Okay, I like how that sounds, so let's just record it. I already know I like this. I shut the sample off. Okay, my sounding's not great, but I kind of like how it sounds, but it's missing something. I don't know what, but it's missing something, so. Like a hi-hat, probably. But let me leave that alone. So, let me go one last track. One more one, I'll get out of it. So, all right. Maybe some people know this one.
Yeah.
Alright, start singing. I don't want to do this. Okay. Same thing. Let me just put drum. Yeah, one more time, let's just put that in there. Yeah, I saw the face back there. I don't like that. Something's wrong with that. It sounds like it sounds good to me, but this for the sample it just sounds fake. It might have sounded good on the other one, it just sounds wrong to me. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Remember that one track that I had with these samples that I played up? From that 76 record? I like this hi-hat a lot better. I'm gonna add that in right now. In the bottom. I added I messed it up. It's not looping right. There we go. All right, now it's fixed. Okay, I like that. And like I'm literally done. For me, I'm done. Like, Dr. Dre would not approve of this. He would say you need to spend about 5 more years on this. That's fine. That's not how it works. So, and that's pretty much it. So that's sampling. That's adding in drums. I can stop here. I can take questions. You can go on.
Take questions. Take questions. That's good.
Any questions specifically? Yes.
Where do you find your where do you find your songs? Do you just like know a lot of old songs and like, oh, I'm gonna use this as a loop, or do you? How do you find, like, these are all really dope samples, and that's half the battle, just finding good sounds. Like, where do you...
That's some of it, yeah. I mean, I will, and everybody's different. So these, I took a lot of really easy ones, really obvious samples. The Angel, the Gil Scott-Heron one might not be that obvious, but a lot of people do sampling, just not this song. I mean, that's Warren G, like everybody knows that one. But yeah, for example, I mean, I think a lot of people like this, so I'm not really an accomplished producer at all, but people will walk around and I will be in the store. I'll be in the store and be like, oh my God, I need to sample that. Like some cheesy jazz song will come on the air and I need to find out what that is, and I'll go up and ask somebody, I'll find out what it is, and I will sample it. I will go home and I will do it. So that's one thing, but yeah, as a producer, you start to get, and as a DJ too, you start to get kind of a library of songs built up in your head. So for example, when I was playing this, doing that sample, I had kind of the cheesy kick and the hi-hat, and I didn't like that hi-hat. You have to know in your head, okay, where can I get a hi-hat from? And so people will literally cannibalize a record just for a kick, because you listen to this like, oh my God, this kick is so good. I'm gonna set that aside in my head, I know where that is, so next time I need a kick that sounds like this, I'm gonna pull that kick, I'm gonna pull that hi-hat, I'm gonna pull that one bass note. Yeah. Any major questions? Sure.
Do you take the samples?
I think there's better people to take this sample for, but sure, why not? Yeah, I can show you why not. Yeah.